Okay, so now you've got a two-panel door with a simple detail. It's almost like a shaker detail. This is a wood door with an MDF surface, so they really paint up nice, and this has a primer on it, so that's great for you.
Yeah, I really like the old style of it. I feel like it would go good with the house.
I agree. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I hang that door in this opening. It has to be plumb and level. What I have to take into consideration is your floor. Now, this is an old house, and as you can see, this floor is really out of level. So when I pick this up and make it level, look at the space underneath that level.
Wow, that's going to take some work.
Oh yeah. Well, what I like to do is put a reference line across the wall so that I can measure off of that. And to do that, I'm going to take a 4-foot level, run it across the opening like this, and I'm going to make it level. Once it's level, like that, I'm going to put a line on this side and this side, so I can now take my measurements from that. So if I measure down to the floor on the hinge side, I have 58.25. If I measure down on the striker side, I am 59.25. So that tells me that your floor is 1 inch out of level.
That's a big difference.
It's huge. Okay, so now I need to transfer those reference lines to my jamb so I can then cut the jamb height 1 inch difference on each side. First thing I want to do is I want to take my tape measure, hook it on the bottom of the door, and I measure up 58.25. That's where my line is, but I want to allow for the tile that you're going to put on the floor at the hinge side. I'm going to slide my tape down about 7/16 of an inch. Okay? That means that I have a space under the door at 7/16 of an inch to allow for your tile. I want to now make sure that my header is level. So I have to measure down from the top to the reference line that I placed here, which is 21 inches. Take that same 21 inches and mark over here 21 inches on the striker side. Now on this side, because our floor is 1 inch out of level, I'm going to take my tape measure and hook it on the bottom of the jamb and see how far out it is right now, and it's 59 inches. That means that I don't have to cut the jamb on this side. The tile will go underneath it because we have 1/4 inch. The only side I have to cut is the hinge side.
Very cool.
Get a rough measurement of the hinge location. Okay, so now I'm almost ready to put the door in the opening. The first thing I want to do is I want to check the rough frame to make sure that they are plumb. So I'm going to take my level, put it on the bottom, hold it with my foot, push the level up tight, and I can see that it's got to come out just a little bit. So I have to pull it away from the structure at the top, just a little bit. I'm going to put a couple of shims right into the top of my level because that's about where the top hinge is located. Making my level plumb. Okay, now I can move my level out of the way and tack these in place. All right, now that's tacked in place, so now I can slide the door in. Slide this in the opening like that, you can see that my reference line on the wall lines up with the mark that I put on the jamb. Now what I want to end up doing is making sure my jamb is flush with the wall right here. So the first thing I need to do is open the door up all the way. Now Justin, if you want to hold that door just like that, I might have you pick it up just a little bit when I tell you to. All right, so now I want to make sure that this edge of the door jamb right here is flush with the wall on the outside. And now I'm going to push the jamb tight against my shim. Can you hold the door there? First thing I want to do is pre-drill a hole. You got it? Okay. Now I want to check the jamb to see if it's plumb. Right on the money. Now I can finish screwing off the hinge side. All right, that's it on the hinge side. Now we want to do the striker side. So now if you look on this side of the jamb, you see our mark that we have on the jamb and the wall. If I pick this up just a little bit to make them even, the header is now level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a shim on the bottom, and you're going to tell me when the two marks line up.
All right, that's even.
Okay, now what I want to do is close the door and just check it. Make sure it's right. Space looks perfect across the top. What I'm going to do now is put one screw in here just to hold it temporarily so we can shim it. Now I have to shim it so that the space down the door is equal. Okay, now we're ready for the trim. All right, your hardware's on. What do you think, Justin?
Came out really good. I love it.
All right, good. Now all you need to do is sand all the wood lightly, prime it, fill the holes, and put a finish coat of paint on it, and you're all done.
Great. Well, thanks for the help, Tom.
My pleasure.